Hey everybody, I'm Philip.
And I'm Justin.
And together we are Pajamas. And we are in the home stretch of season 4 of Doctor Who. We are on episode 12. Last time we had a goosebump inducing reveal at the end. The 2 words that Rose told Donna to give to the Doctor were
Bad wolf.
Yeah. So I'm assuming you're going to get the episodes that you've been deserving of, according to you.
Like I was expecting, saving the best for last, are you, Doctor Who?
So we'll see if we have some little portable trash cans with plungers and egg beaters coming again to wreak havoc on the planet.
I'm excited.
We'll see what happens. So with that, it goes without saying, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Rose is coming back. Isn't that good?
Yeah.
Huh.
What?
Huh.
Look! Are you alright?
Yay.
It's them aliens, I'll bet my pension. What do you want this time, you green swine?
It's only just beginning.
Oh, wow. This is like the freaking Doctor Who All-Star special.
Amazing.
It's really cool. Yeah, no arguments. No complaints, rather. Yeah.
Issued an edict asking the citizens of the world not to panic.
Bro's just walking around with this big-ass gun.
Indigo's top secret. No one's supposed to know about it.
I met a soldier in a bar. Long story.
When was that?
Strictly professional.
They have a message for the human race.
But it's true. Let's hear it.
Exterminate! 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 Exterminate!
Oh. Like a boss. Walk away.
24 worlds have been taken from the sky.
How many? 27 planets in perfect balance. Come on, that is gorgeous.
Oi, don't get all spaceman. What does it mean?
Don't use Project Indigo. It's not safe. Experimental teleport salvaged from the Suntarans. But they haven't.
If I had not elevated you beyond crude emotions. The Doctor is coming!
There was something on your back. I'm so sorry for your loss. My whole planet's gone. I mean, the loss that is yet to come.
We are declaring war, Doctor, and you will lead us into battle.
Right.
Where are you taking us?
Daleks do not answer human questions.
Oh no.
Will come with me.
I came here when I was just a kid. 90 years old.
Who is that?
Harriet Jones, former Prime Minister.
Oh.
I know who you are.
Harriet! Oh, she can't hear me. Have you got a webcam?
No, she wouldn't let me. She said they're naughty.
I can't speak to her though.
Be having some trouble getting through.
That's me! Harriet, that's me!
I'll just boost the signal. Hello?
Who's she? I want to get through.
Martha, where are you?
Harriet's Project Indigo was more clever than we thought. 1 second I was in. Mum!
Aww.
And Martha Jones, former companion to the Doctor.
Oh, so was I.
And I've wondered about that for a long time, whether I was wrong. But I stand by my actions to this day. The Earth would be in danger, and the Doctor would fail to appear.
The Doctor's got my phone on the TARDIS, but I can't get through.
Nor me, and I was here first.
Combine forces, the Doctor's secret army. And they'll trace it back to me, but my life doesn't matter. Not if it saves the Earth. I'm transferring the subwave network to Torchwood. You're in charge now. Harriet Jones, former Prime Minister.
Yes, we know who you are. Exterminate!
Captain Jack, don't. Just don't.
Doctor, it's me. It's like an outer space Facebook.
Everyone except Rose.
Your voice is different. Arrogance is unchanged.
She's dead.
Welcome. Lord and creator of the Dalek race. Shift took him back into the Time War.
That's impossible. The entire war is time locked.
And yet he succeeded. Oh, it cost him his mind. Conceived everlasting death for the most faithful companion.
I need another shift. Lock me onto the TARDIS now.
Think, Donna, when you met Rose in that parallel world, what did she say?
Why don't you ask her yourself?
Rose, do as I say and get back. He's dying, and you know what happens next.
Oh.
Sorry!
Daleks do not accept apologies. You will be exterminated.
Oh.
I'm regenerating.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, holy crap.
It was a huge reunion.
It was like also, I said and during the episode, it was like a Doctor Who All-Stars.
Yes.
Dang, everyone's back. Like, everyone's back. Like, holy crap. We had Martha, Captain Jack, Sarah Jane, Rose. Everybody. In one episode. Hell, like a few episodes back, I was like, it'd be cool if we had Rose and Donna and Martha in the same episode. We got that and more. Yeah, there's a lot going on in this one. Oh my lord.
And we have now seen Davros, the creator of the Daleks himself.
Who is like a humanoid Dalek hybrid. So like a humanoid made the Daleks.
Interestingly, you've heard of artists putting a bit of themselves into their work. Well,
Yeah.
it seems that this one did quite literally.
Yeah, wow.
That's how much dedication he put into this work.
He is the creator.
Yes, someone that the Doctor thought was dead.
Yeah, the lord and creator of the Dalek race. Now we know how they were created, at least. That was always kind of like how did they come to be? They are this person, this thing, this entity. And then that freaking cliffhanger of an ending.
Yes.
Ooh.
Another transformation.
Well, we left off in the middle of it.
Yes.
So maybe. And this episode did something I never ever thought would happen. It actually got me to feel sorry for Rose. I've got more in detail in my notes when we get to them. But yeah. All right, so let's just unpack this. In the midst of the All-Star game we got going on, in the midst of the Lord and Creator of the Daleks being introduced or coming back or whatever, we're new. So introduced for us.
From the timeline, from the Doctor's point of view, he's back.
Right. So we ended episode 11 with Bad Wolf, the reveal. We said during the review that it kind of had to be Daleks, and it was. Fantastic introduction with the voice and the wavelength and, exterminate,
You probably saw the expression on my face when I heard that.
Oh yeah.
There's only one thing that makes that sound.
Yeah, I was looking over at you smiling. I was like, here you go, you got it. The big bad once again. for the end of the season are the Daleks, but with a little wrinkle, as we talked about with the Lord and Creator being here now. And then the Daleks displace Earth, along with, in total, 26 other planets.
Yes.
And they described it as like almost like a mechanism. And the Daleks talked about some kind of, I forget, I don't know if I wrote it down. I can't remember the name of the plan, whatever it was called. I think it began with a C. There's just so much like, full disclosure, I have a migraine. It's been a really crappy week.
Yes.
So physically, mentally, should I be doing this? No. But did we want to do this? Did I want to do this? Yes, that's why we're doing it. So I'm going to be a little airheady, and I apologize for that. But it was like some kind of plan they were doing. And so I'm wondering, we only have one episode. They brought 27 planets total, Earth being one of them. And the Daleks have like a massive metallic hard-on for the Earth. Like, they love it. They really want to subjugate this planet. Really bad. For whatever reason.
Yes, there's something about this one.
Yeah. Because you talked before with other species, like, of all, galaxies and universes and planets, why Earth? And I was thinking about that. Watching this, I'm like, why Earth, though?
Perhaps this thing, it's like we're finally now seeing the puzzle with the Earth being one piece.
Maybe, yeah. Just from our point of view, because we only have the 4 seasons so far to look from. This episode is cool because I said before where we get these episodes where it makes watching from our season one, worth it. This is one of them because we had so many callbacks and all these people, and it all means something. It all like if we just started in this season, we'd be like, oh, they must be known from other things. That's cool. But we wouldn't have had the adventures with Captain Jack, and with the episode with Sarah Jane and finding out about her and how important she was. Now and in the past. And then, we want to know about Rose. And all of that fantastic goodness that all of you love me for. You love me, don't you? I love people who are watching now, as of this recording. New people are finding the channel and then watching our Doctor Who, and they're in the season 1, and they're like, I don't understand why you say this, because this and this happens. I'm like, we're on season 4. Stick with it. The show, much like our reaction and stuff, it's an evolution. It evolves as we get more information. We see how, like, people are getting mad at me about the whole situation with Donna when she kissed him in the Agatha Christie episode to shock him, which made sense. I've been told that I was overreacting. I don't think I overreacted to that. I was just like, please don't let that go anywhere. I find it interesting that people say that I'm overreacting, and then I'm the very next episode he tries to pull her out of the shadows. She's like, oi, hands, and she slaps his hands off of her. Like, it's addressed the next episode, and I'm like, okay, it's cool now. So
think of when you first saw this episode. Would you have been upset with yourself that you didn't know this or that because it would be addressed episodes later, episodes which you haven't seen yet?
Yeah, well, the very next episode, which was amusing to me. So it's going to be interesting to see if these planets are, in fact, some kind of mechanism.
Somehow they're connected.
Yeah.
Why these planets and not any other?
Yeah, because we even had Parvilia and Adipose 3 back from previous episodes. So there were the extra 2 in addition to the 25 we knew about originally. It's going to be interesting to see where that goes in the future. Well, in the next episode. I can say in the future. It's in the immediate future.
Still correct either way.
The Doctor is in the Medusa Cascade, and they're just floating along, and
hasn't been there since he was a very young boy at the age of 90.
Yeah. Those were the days, huh, when we were all 90 and youngins and going to the Medusa Cascade. And then eventually, Harriet Jones. I love Harriet Jones. Loved Harriet Jones. It's Doctor Who. Is anyone ever really gone?
It's up for debate because you have to take into consideration time travel.
Yeah. And multi-dimensional and all that stuff, yeah. But and then she comes back and she brings everybody together, and the Daleks. And in the midst of all this, the Daleks invade. and are very quickly successful in taking over Earth.
Yes, actually, now that I think about it, this is actually a quick takeover compared to the other ones.
Mm-hmm. I mean, one could argue that the Doctor wasn't here for it, but even then, it was really, really fast. It's not a nitpick, it's not a negative thing. I'm just I noticed. I was like, oh wow, they won already. Why not do this before? But again, they didn't have a Dalek Khan, who was insane, and then the Lord and Creator of the Daleks, and then the Supreme Dalek, also all working in tandem. So, new strategy, new tactics. Like, it'll be easier when I go through my notes, just because it's more like with the last episode when I could just talk about it in more of a chronological way. TLDW, Daleks are here, and they've taken over Earth, and the Doctor's personal army is assembling to fight back. And the Doctor gets shot by a Dalek.
Yes.
And is in mid-transformation. Possibly. I'm only doubting because they didn't show the full thing. And that could just, and that could just be for watch next week, that kind of thing. Which makes total sense, when you're watching a serial that's weekly. Because if we were watching this in real time, it would have been like, oh crap. Oh no, what's going to happen?
As usual, ending it with suspense.
And that's another thing that older fans, especially if you watch this live in the late 2000s versus now, then it was, it was weekly. This end, you had to wait a week, between, I'm assuming it was weekly back then, between each episode. So this ends, you're like, oh man, I have to wait a week for it. It was kind of like when we were watching Game of Thrones and we binged it up to season 4 where we got caught up and then we had to wait a week. And it's like, oh no. Whereas here, it's content dump. We could binge this in one night if we weren't doing reviews. Which is it's a different watching style. We're viewing this differently. We didn't watch this week to week back in the day. We're taking this we can go right to episode 13 right now and see what happens. But it's one of those things where this is a cliffhanger and it's just ooh, here we go. What's gonna happen?
I understand completely what you're saying.
So we've had cliffhangers, but this is a cliffhanger. Oh no, what's gonna happen? Holy crap! That's where we leave off. So, do we get a new Doctor? Does Tennant somehow figure out how to maybe reverse it, stop it? Maybe the TARDIS does something. Maybe he stops it and he's on borrowed time. Because I wouldn't think we were going to get a new Doctor until the end of the season. This is the episode before the official 13 block ends. So just kind of spitballing, wondering how this is going to go down. Because I could see them throwing a curveball. You think it's going to transform. I only wonder just because it's not the end of the season yet. And would they introduce a new Doctor right in the season, the 13th episode?
It actually would be interesting if they did, because then all of the companions are there together to see it happen.
Yeah. Also interesting, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, and that's totally fine. The notion, and this is going to, let me get out my umbrella to protect myself from the hate that's going to rain down on me. Y'all think I'm doing this to be controversial? I'm not. This is actually something I legitimately wonder, because I don't look at things with rose-colored glasses. I don't look at Tennant like that. I don't look at Rose like that. I don't look at Donna like that. I don't look at Martha like that. I find it interesting that, especially since she saw 2 incarnations, I find it interesting that it's not the Doctor that Rose wanted to be reunited with. It was Tennant's Doctor, seemingly, that she wanted to be reunited with, because she said, I just came back. Don't leave. Well, he's just going to regenerate. He's still the same guy. You saw him go from Eccleston to Tennant.
Yes, it is something that I was wondering myself. I was wondering about it and thought, oh, don't worry. He isn't going to die and stay dead. He's only going to regenerate. It's still the same Doctor, per se.
Which she knows, because she saw the first transformation, our first transformation. So I thought it was odd and a little telling that maybe I wasn't wrong the entire time in thinking that she was obsessed with Tennant's Doctor, not the Doctor in general. It's gonna be so much fun, I think, to watch our videos. If we get caught up in Doctor Who to current times where we're watching it in real time with everybody else, and then we can all react together, not knowing what's going to happen. And then, like, once we get caught up, to look back at season 1 and watch our reactions. I'm going to have a blast watching me just, like, rage against the Rose Machine. It's going to be so much fun.
Shall we go to the notes?
We shall. Let's go to the notes.
Philip's notes.
So we open up with the Doctor and Donna. Open the door to the TARDIS, and Earth is gone.
And it isn't because they've been taken somewhere else. It's the Earth that's been taken somewhere else.
Yeah. And then we get that awesome montage where we see Martha, and then Captain Jack, and Sarah Jane, and Rose. And then we find out that the Doctor is going to go to the Shadow Proclamation, which we have heard about many times before in the past, where the Doctor, well, when he's talking to a race, like, this is in violation of section blah, 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 article blah, blah, blah of the Shadow Proclamation. Like, it's been referenced. And of course, there was like the rhino looking, police, because it was like, a posh word for police. And so we got our first real, like, glimpse into the Shadow Proclamation. I also thought on those initial planets we saw, because it's always obviously so Earth-centric. If there was life forms on any of the other planets, they also had to be like, what the fuck? Because their view would have, like, Earth in the sky. I was thinking about from, like, another life form's point of view. We got Rose walking around with her BFG, big fucking gun. Yeah, she's just like a boss. Like, not the biggest Rose fan, but it was just funny watching her walk around like she made those two dudes stop stealing a TV.
Yes.
With her big gun.
Well, something like that is probably very intimidating. It's understandable why they would react that way.
Vigilante Rose, Bat Rose, here to save Gotham, aka London. I would actually watch Bat Rose. I would. Hand to God, I would watch Bat Rose.
It was even with a night sky, even though it was at the moment daytime. Well, would have been.
And then we find out about Project Indigo, which Captain Jack knows about. He's not supposed to. Martha is still working for UNIT. Then we find out that Project Indigo is an experimental teleporter salvaged from Sontaran, like, tech.
Yes.
I love, like, I know you love this scene. It's probably your favorite scene in the episode when there's a transmission that's coming through. It's exterminate.
That can only mean one thing.
Not just that, everyone's reaction to it. Like, Sarah Jane is emotional, and Captain Jack is just like, oh God, we're doomed. Bringing everyone back for this was such a good idea, because it makes the Dalek invasion mean that much more. Because not only do we have these different stories from the past that we've watched, but we have these experiences. So we know Sarah, well, we don't know fully Sarah Jane, because we didn't watch her incarnation originally, but clearly she knows the Daleks. But we've been there with Captain Jack, and with Martha, and, now Donna doesn't really know them. But Martha and Rose, we've seen everyone's, crossing paths and how just impactful it was. So I thought that scene was really well done, and bringing everybody back just made the Daleks invading that much more powerful, because we had all these perspectives.
All of them saying that this isn't simply an invasion of simply any extraterrestrial species. No, it's the invading species.
Yeah, we go to the Dalek ship. We see the creator. Then we get introduced to Dalek Khan, who's been called an abomination. Then we find out Dalek Khan is the way it is because during the Time War, it like temporal shifted into the Time War to rescue
Davros.
Yeah, and
however, in doing so, he became insane.
But also, the Doctor said that's impossible because the Time War is time locked. So I hope they circle back to that in the future somehow. The creator was like, ha 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 ha, if you only knew. But I was like, yeah, but how? You temporal shifted into a time war that was time locked. And yes, it cost Dalek Khan its mind, but I hope we revisit that in the future, because I think that there's so much there you can do with it. We've joked before that whenever the Doctor says, that's impossible, it's probably
then
possible.
It happens.
Yeah, it's probably possible. But that's one I'm like, let's explore that again. If not in the next episode, in the future, because I think there's a lot of meat on that bone, as they say. And then the lady goes up to Donna and says, I'm sorry for your loss. And she's like, yeah, everyone I loved is on Earth. And she says, no, I mean the loss that's to come.
She knows something.
Yeah. And it was hinted that Donna is very important in the last episode. So is Donna going to be the key to defeating the Daleks this time? Because they said something about Donna being important since birth. So Donna has something she can do. Will she like sacrifice herself to like transport them all to some alternate dimension that only she has control over. Because they also said something about her being able to like dimensions warping themselves around her. So maybe. What if she warps the dimension around them and puts them in kind of like a prison? Just theorizing.
What I'm curious about is the key that apparently isn't supposed to ever be used, yet it exists.
Yes, that is the, let me find it, Osterhagen key?
Yes.
Yeah.
Never to be used ever, but then why does it exist at all?
Well, it's like, why does like the nuke button exist if nukes shouldn't be used?
Shouldn't be, but the very last resort, well, considering that this invasion is happening, would this be a time for last resorts?
Thus the Osterhagen key.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I like the line from the Shadow Proclamation leader. She says, "We are declaring war, and you are leading us into battle. And everything we know about the Doctor up till now, after everything he's seen and lost in the Time War, he tries to avoid war, confrontation, fighting at all costs. And for her to tell him that you're leading us into war, I was like, ooh, like he's gonna nope out of there so fast, and he did. It's like you said the wrong words to the wrong being. Daleks again had some pretty good one-liners. They always do in these episodes.
Yes.
One of my favorites was, "Daleks do not answer human questions." That was really funny. I love how they're so matter of fact but sassy at the same time. I love it. And then we have the scene of the sub. What was it called? The sub thing. My brain is so not working. Whatever Harriet Jones had, like that underground network that they couldn't communicate on. We see like this four-way call. We have Harriet Jones, then we have Captain Jack, and then we have Sarah Jane, and then the last one and she's like, I'm here. Rose is saying, I'm here. And then it's Martha. Rose says, who's she? I want to get through. That was fun. It's like,
yes. Rose, while you're standing or sitting there complaining, you could be missing some information that they're giving to each other, so pay attention.
He said it, not me. And then another cool Dalek line was when they were coming after Harriet Jones and they bust through. And she's like, Harriet Jones, former Prime Minister. And then they say,
we know who you are.
Yeah.
Like everyone else has been saying.
I think it's a really, really funny running gag that she has to always introduce herself. And everyone always has to say, yes, we know who you are. I like it. Then Rose is like, Doctor, it's me. I came back. And then they're like, everyone's here except for Rose. And it's just like, then I was just like, kind of like, aw. Like, I kind of actually started to feel bad for Rose because she has been like the facilitator. She's traveled, crossed universes.
Yes, something which she isn't supposed to be able to do, which signaled to the Doctor that the walls or barriers of the universe are collapsing.
Yeah.
So it was one of those situations that, well, good news and bad news. Good news, you're going to see Rose again. Bad news is that your entire universe is falling apart.
Yeah, bittersweet. I thought it was kind of funny that, Rose got to Donna and Donna related to the Doctor and then, everyone else is involved. And then like the catalyst for a while now, because we saw Rose appear episodes ago, is the only one left out. So interesting how that works. Not in my notes, but something I was musing over while it was happening. That slow-mo shot of the Doctor and Rose running towards each other and they're waiting for it. Raise your hand if you are on the verge of tears out there for that moment. I know some of you love Rose. Love her. It was built to be this big moment, this swelling moment. And I'm not even saying this to be like condescending or snarky. I mean it. Like this is built to be this moment. And before the Doctor got shot by the Dalek.
It wasn't what I was expecting. I was actually expecting that something is probably going to spoil this, but what? Oh, maybe the Captain will appear in the middle as they're clinging to each other, and he says something like, oh, nice to see you too.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that would have been fitting. Yeah, that would have been funny. They were going towards that reunion, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, wonder how many of you back in the day in 2008 or whatever were just on that verge and not making fun of you. I'm not making fun of you. I think it's cool that media and stuff like this can move. You can get so invested in the characters that, for Pete's sake, Squid Game, episode 6, first time I ever cried on camera. So I have no room to make fun of anyone for anything. I was just wondering, 12 years ago, raise your hand if you were like 100% goosebumps and emotional and ready for it, and then the Dalek stole it from you. And that's all for my notes. Everything else are for my patrons over on Patreon. But yeah, this is just a wowzer of an episode. Like, it's gonna be crazy how we wrap this up. Like, what's gonna happen with the doctor? It's gonna be crazy to see if we get everyone in the same spot at the same time. Donna, Martha, Sarah Jane, Captain Jack, everyone. Varying degrees of doctor love going on, from misplaced infatuation to platonic to pansexual. I want to bang everything. I've wanted this for a while. We have enough lore to call back on that. You know, I said I wanted like the Martha, Donna, Rose, but, you know, with everyone else, as I said, awesome. You know, more the merrier. Bukake of Doctor Who goodness. Eat it up. One more to go for the block of 13 for season 4. And after that, who knows? Is there anything else you would like to add?
No.
Okay. Well, I was going to wrap this one up. Future me, I'm sorry if this is a jumbled mess. Future watchers, I'm sorry if this is a jumbled mess. Hopefully it's not. My brain feels like a jumbled mess. So as always, I don't have a fancy outro. So as always, I don't have a fancy outro. So I'll simply say thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next episode. Until then, goodbye.
Goodbye.